guys? Hope you're all good. Hope you're all good. As you can see, we're back with another tactics video, and can I do it on anyone else than Joe Piroe? I thought his performance was the best of his season. Personally, I do. He looked a completely different player. He looked unbelievable in that role. He did it perfectly. Everyone around him did their roles, which really helped. But Joe Piroe is excellent. I could pick anyone. I had to do it on Joe Piroe. I had to do it on the striker. And here it is. And it's for me, it's all about the threat he opposed, that central focal threat that is so key. And look at the game here. So this is the first leg. Look at the lack of central threat. So obviously Georgie was the striker in this game, although it was a slightly different setup. You can tell we didn't have that central threat. We had a lot of cover in the midfield. Georgie dropped deep. We didn't have that central threat. Now look this week. Joe Piroe, number 7. Look at the difference in the central threat between last time. Light years. How high up the players are. Yeah. Look at the balance of the midfield. We went there to win. And this is what it looks like when we are dangerous and deadly. This central threat between the front three, and particularly the vocal point, Joe Piroe, number 7. I just want to show you this real quick. This is, remember I showed you last week's game. This is last week's game. A central threat in terms of attacking impetus, you know. Look at it this week. It was our biggest threat area was the central spaces. Yeah, complete contrast to last week. Complete contrast from 15 to 48%. Crazy. And a lot of that is down to the way we set up, but a lot of that is down to the individual being effective in that role. And a lot of that is down to Joe Piroe. Again, remember last week I showed you the distribution and how one-sided it was to that right, and we were quite predictable in our attacks. The movement wasn't quite fluid enough. Look at it now. Again, we did prefer that right side because that's the way we build up. There's a lot more balance on either side. The distribution, we had two sides willing to play forward. Good to see. And here's the first example, people. Here's the first example. And this is just kind of a teaser and a setup. And again, let me just clarify. This stuff is basic. I'm not coming here saying this is tactical genius. I'm going to show you guys the basics that we were missing at times, and basics that make such a huge difference. And of course, you have to put in context the players stepping up for the crowd, but this is what they are capable of as footballers. This is it right here. So as you can see, and this is just, again, a setup for what I'm going to show you. Piroe has the third pass the ball in left back position. You already see the players looking to advance forward, which was a constant threat. Joe Piroe quickly, and this is the excuse me, this is the key part. A key word is the speed in which we did things. Everything we did was quicker than them. It was here already. There was no hesitation that we usually do. It was there in the brain, executed. And that's what he does. All he does here, drops into this space quickly. Try and receive the ball. No hesitation, he does it quickly. Doesn't get it. So what's his next movement? Central. Into the space, doesn't get it, goes central. And look, this ball goes out of play, but look at the attack that we have. Now, the importance of this central run is, like I said before, it occupies centre-backs and the full-back. Because he's not on the centre-back, he's behind him. Which gives this guy questions. Whose man is it? This guy here, the centre-back here, Gibson, I believe, can't go too tight to Joe Piroe in this position, because then Georgie has all the space in the world if that ball is given. And then we're in big trouble, because Curry is beyond his full-back as well. And this is the importance of speed. If we do this slowly, Piroe could catch up to Nonto, the midfield could catch up to Rutter, and then you've kind of got 5 versus 3. But right now, if this ball did stay in play and we did keep it in, you've got 3 versus 2. And a lot of that is dictated by the central movement of the striker, just narrowly behind the centre-back to give both of them questions, leaving space for Nonto back here and Rutter here. And this is another little movement. Look at the movement here. Again, Piroe is on the back line, and Nonto is in this half space. As Joe Rodon gets the ball, it's just a little rotation. Piroe quickly, and again that word quickly, before anyone can react, comes into the half space, and Gnonto makes that run out wide. And I'll show you what that does in a minute. But by him doing that, and him doing that quickly, they can't react to it. And again, look at the threat we have. If this ball gets through to this space anywhere here, look at the threat we have with Somerville and Rutter centrally in between this space, with Thurpot also out wide, meaning this guy cannot really tuck in. And this is the result of that quick movement. It's a little rotation. Boom. Gnonto drags the defender and the fullback up the pitch, which leaves more space here. And again, it's that thing quick, that speed. I'll just move my head up here because I want to show you something in this corner as well. As Rodon gets the ball, again, Gnonto's making that run, dragging these defenders out of this area, which Piroe moves into quickly and instinctively. Again, look at the central threat. What does that lead to? So obviously Rodon gives the ball to Archie. Now this is what it leads to. Look at the run from Gnonto here. Look at the confusion. Both of them have gone with him because it's quick and incisive. And when both have gone with him, Piroe's picked up this central space. Look at the time he's got if we can find him in there. Now this guy can't drop. Because again, speed. Rodon is beating the striker and he's going into this space. So this central midfielder has to cut this space off. Look at the reward for our bravery. Just one quick rotation. Drops that back line. Gnonto's got 2 on him. That's fine because that means Piroe's got none. With our aggression going forward, we have 3 in the middle, or middle to wide, waiting for the ball in this central space. Because they can't commit to each man. Because there's a spare man in the middle. Rodon gives the ball to Archie. Rodon gets the ball back. Gets fouled. If he didn't get fouled, because of that little rotation, look at the space we have here. Ball goes into Georgie in this position. Piroe's dragged this guy out now. He's decided not to engage in Rodon, which has dragged him out to Piroe, which has left so much central space here. It's good movement from the striker. Recognising spaces, recognising where the gaps are, and good movement from the attack to actually react to that as well. We get the ball in this position here, they're in big trouble, and this is what we did all day, people. It's so smart movement, and again, Gnonto's original rotation with Piroe just to drag this space out. It's genius. It's simple, but it's good. It's good to see. The quick rotations, decisive rotations, which just leave all this space. Also, I don't know why I look here when it's literally on the screen in front of me. I'm weird. And here's just a little, again, making that movement and other players reacting to it. So you've seen the one here where Georgie does a little flick down Somerville in this space. And look at the starting position of our players. Gnonto behind Johnny Rowe. Piroe occupying the centre-back and the full-back again, that little one. And when Piroe makes that movement to the front post, he didn't come off, but look, Gnonto's beat his man. He's in the box. Remember what I said about players hiding in the box the other week, a few weeks ago? Gnonto, beyond his man. Piroe's took the 2 centre-backs with him and left this massive space which Gnonto's ran into, and there was a ball there, but Piroe went for the shot. But it's just little on the same wavelength. If I go, you're getting in that space I've left quickly, no hesitation. And again, can he play behind? Look, still wasn't his strongest thing in the game, not something he did loads. He did it quickly. It was incisive, it was decisive, whichever word you want to use. He did it, instinct, boom. We've seen it here. Lampedusa's got the ball in this space. Piroe, look, he's flat-footed here. And this is where the defender thinks he's got him. Half a second later, he recognises the pass, and he recognises the high line, and he recognises he can get in behind. Nothing to that quick, decisive movement in behind. Better touch, and he's in. That's all from one pass. From this to literally not even half a second later, boom. Defender's out of position, behind him, can't catch up, better touch, and he could have been in. Just that quick thinking, that wavelength, sit on the same wavelength, understanding where the space is again. And this time it's a bit of a different build up, because what we did now was Georgie and showing rotation up there, showing a different side of it. Georgie and Piroe. I'll move my head because I want to show Nonto behind it as well. Georgie and Piroe in this position occupied that back line. So Piroe was short, but he dropped into that back line, which took Kenny McLean. Sorry, the centre back. That's not Kenny McLean. Now all he does by doing this, by these two here pinning that back line, which they are, these two are occupied by Piroe, and then Georgie's occupied the full back, just allows so much space for Cree to drive into. How many times have we seen it now where Georgie be in this position, and it's not really, that's a space Cree could run into, you don't need to be in there. What he's done is just occupied the last man. Piroe's run is started central and it's gone wider to drag these centre-backs out to give Cree more space to drive centrally. And then you've got Nonto making the run out wide here. Then Piroe pushing up there. Quick, decisive movement is key. It allowed spaces, it allowed us to drive, and it just allowed gaps everywhere for us to exploit. And we took it, we were decisive with it. That's the key part of it. Like I said, there we go. Free drive centrally. Piroe makes that run out wide, but then turns his body in case to receive on the half turn. But it's all about the space he's provided. And now look, you've got a 2v1 out wide. Because of that, him going centrally, dragging two guys out, and recognising probably that Roy's won't get back. Like I said, remember what I said, people? I said it on Joe's show. This team doesn't like defending. They don't enjoy it. And if you're quick, decisive and aggressive, they can't deal with it. And this is it right here. This is proof. All of these videos are proof. We're quicker than them in every instance in the attack. They can't react to our defending, our attack. They can't, defensive-wise, they can't adapt. Now we're a 2v1. Georgie gets the ball, should pass it, tries to shoot. Pass it to Nonto, he's through 1v1. Again, come to feet, and this is what I love about it, that risk. Nonto's got the ball here. A little risk pass through the two midfielders, but what's the reward for that? One risk pass, one beautiful turn later, and you're in. Beat their entire midfield. Just one risky pass and one good turn from your striker. And it was a good turn. Just dropping into the space, recognising where it is, but getting it and being effective in that space, because we've seen Joe Piroe drops into that space, but often he's too slow in there and he can lose it. Obviously I can't show it, but he gets the ball here and he absolutely spins his man. And then we're off. We're advancing forward with aggression and power. George is running centrally. And then you've got Cree on the outside and Nonto on the outside here, driving at that back line. Unfortunately, he's offside, but the principle, the idea is the same. Just dropping it in that space, beating your man 1v1. Having confidence in yourself. Because you're a good footballer, Joe Piroe, and you're capable of it. You know, I just want to clarify, I know when people say he doesn't fit the system. I've said all season, he's not an ideal person for this system. I think we all know that, hence why it's took so long to find consistency in performance. Within the game, I mean. He's not had a consistency in performance yet this season. He's always been a good player. He's scored goals at this level. He's been the best striker at this level consistently for the last 2 years. He has this in the locker. It's confidence. It's understanding the movement. It's understanding where the space is. It's understanding how you can be effective in the moments you have the ball. And that's what he did against Norwich. I really need to see more of it. I really do. This is the goal. Remember the movement I showed you earlier? Same thing, but this time we did it with a 2. So again, as you can see, Georgie and Piroe occupying that back line this time. Again, we went 2 up top at this point. All Piroe does now, stay centrally. There's a rotations between Georgie and Nonto. Georgie's on the back line, drops into the central space. Exactly the same rotation I showed earlier, but this time with Georgie and Nonto, and this time Piroe's just staying central. And this makes me think the way in which he stays central when he usually comes into these positions, the way George came into this position, makes me think that this move here was something we have looked at in terms of exploiting their back line quickly. Yeah, Georgie comes into this space, and as he does it, Nonto makes a space out wide. And that just leaves space and gaps, 1v1, all over. This is the position we're in. Pass it down the line from Gray. Defender has no idea who's marking Georgie. No one, because we did it quick and no one could react to it. Occupying the centre-back centrally, so he can't come over and mark Jorginho. It's a 1v1 here. And Georgie has all the space. A 1v1. Georgie has all the space. It's again the quickness of how we attack. Piroe's just sitting central, knows exactly where he wants it. There he's pointing. Give it me there. The connection between the players was unbelievable. Of course he gives it in there. It's they're talented players who can do stuff like this. This is what they're capable of. But just from this position here, just one rotation creates space for two players and 1v1s. A 1v1 and a no v1. He's got space to drive if he gets the ball. Piroe central in the box, 1v1. Somerville coming on the right back there, 1v1. Quick, decisive movement forward exploits teams. What I mean by when we play like this, we are unstoppable. Execution on the ball. You know exactly where he wants it. Unbelievable ball. Goal. Now it ends. And it all starts from this rotation. This central play. Staying central here is key. Yeah, unbelievable. Genuinely. Brilliant goal. Excellent goal. The movement was excellent. The drive was excellent. The positioning for each player was excellent. The execution was excellent. Really good goal. Really good team goal. And this is like dropping deep again. Recognising when to drop deep. But actually Kamara again, not turning back, going straight back to Ampadu. Taking that risk forward, that forward pass. Taking a risk into central areas where we can exploit them with how good we are in there. Piroe recognises the pass is on. He's got 2 or 3 yards in his defender because he's quicker than him and he recognises it quickly. Gets the ball in this position here. And 2 seconds later, he's driving with it. I think there might have been a bit of luck in there. But look, Joe Piroe driving with it. Look at the defender here. Look at him. And what do? Forward, forward, forward. With speed and agility. And we know how this went in. Cross the ball, got a bit of luck. But this is the luck here. This is it. It starts with this. It starts with this. It starts with taking that risk. Making that risky pass into these areas. Piroe making that run. Driving with it. And then going forward aggressively. We know what happened. Crosses it in. Gets a bit scuffled. Jorginho taps it in the back post. Took that risk to go forward. And that's what I love about this team. We have that in us. We can be deadly in those positions. And just a little one in the second half. Like, central again. Saying central. Being that threat centrally. Whether that's deep or in behind or on the back line. He's not hiding behind defenders. The ball, I think Georgie gets it. Gives it out to Somerville. And this time he recognises the spaces here. Stays centrally. Should score. That's the criticism of him. He should have had 2 or 3. But it's about the movement. It's about the understanding between the players. It's about the decisiveness of the attack. And I thought it was brilliant. Roy's a central part of that. The others around him were excellent too. All of them. As a 4 were unbelievable. These 4 here, unbelievable. The movement, the rotations were unbelievable. We get it in the second half. Tempo didn't drop. What I love about this is the final clip. His movement is just, look at his movement. So he's running centrally here. As the ball, as Georgie passes the ball to Somerville, he looks across quickly as he's central and recognises it's a 1v1 out here. So what you can do is stay central, which allows them to come over and the defender can then follow him, which makes it 2 1v1s, one with him and one with these 2. But he doesn't. He adjusts his run and pivots out beyond Crease Somerville, knowing that this guy is not recovering quick enough to deal with it. So what he does, he makes this run beyond him quickly and decisively. And Creed does get it in this position. He's got 2 men on him. Ball comes out to Piroe and he's got a free goal again. Doesn't score and should. But that quick, decisive movement, judging when to move, being brave with it. taking risks with it. Everyone on the same wavelength. Even Willie in this position. Look at him, he's driving into the box. This is what we need. This is Leeds United. When we have a central threat that does all these things, we are brilliant. We have the 3 players around that central threat who rotate well, effectively, and are on the same wavelength. We are brilliant. When the rest of the team steps up to the intensity the front 3 are bringing, we're unstoppable. I know I keep saying that word, and this game is going to be tough. This is a playoff final. We won't play this well, right? We won't. But we can turn up and be like this. We can have the same mentality we had in this game. We can use the same rotations. This is going to be a tough one. But than this, much tougher. Joe Piroe is proof that we have the players that can do this, even if they've been struggling this season in terms of 90-minute performances. Because he's got the goals of Joe Piroe. I'm not going to complain. He's 100% played his part this season. People dismiss everything he's done. You can have good and bad bits and things you need to improve. That's fine. He's got his contribution in 14 goals now. Maybe we wanted 20. Maybe that's something to work on. But this was a proof that this player can do what he needs to in this system. It's so key that he learns and understands this game, what went right in this game, and how to replicate that. It's key. Whether he plays or not, he should for me in the next game. Because this was an unbelievable performance. It really was. From each one of them front 4. The movement was unbelievable. They were on the same wavelength. They're all confident. And they destroyed Norwich. Southampton have similar frailties in defence to me. And if we're aggressive to them, you will get similar results in these attacks. Because our players are just quicker. They're so talented. But yeah, that's all, people. Hope you enjoyed this one. Like I said, this is basic stuff. This is not... I'm not going to come on here and give you all this, all these complex tactical things, because they're just not needed at times like this. It's just basic principles that you can still get better. If you can get the basics better and better, you don't need these nuances. You need to deal with the basics first. This is all basic stuff. We got it spot on. But yeah, I appreciate your support and love. As always, you guys are absolute legends. I appreciate any other content creator. Shout out to Joe, who I know was speaking about my Kamara video and picked it up. So absolute legend. People like that are what inspire you to do stuff like this. So shout out to everyone who supports genuinely. Yeah, I appreciate everyone. I'm just getting close to 7 days, people. Peace.